Okay, so I look like shit right now because I'm not wearing any makeup, and I have a better quality camera, so you can actually see that I'm not wearing any makeup. So yeah, so the reason why I'm making a video right now, and I'd already recorded this and it ended up being like 13 minutes long, so I'm gonna try to make it a little quicker. Um, is that sorry, it's really hot. I gotta turn on my fan. Is that I saw this image of a cartoon girl wearing a big T-shirt that said "Okay." And then on the wall behind her, it said BR on one side and EN on the other, making it say broken. So, in truth, she's broken, but she's telling everyone she's okay. And this image kind of, I could relate to this image very well because I'm constantly just, blowing everyone off saying I'm okay because I was taught growing up that if you have problems, then you're weak and you have no right to complain because you're in the first world. So, your problems aren't real. They're fake. They're not real. You have no right to complain about anything. And this was just solidified by this comment that everyone had liked because it said, "Oh, dumb bitches complaining about everything nowadays, and they have nothing real to complain about all the people in the Holocaust and want to kill all these stupid, whiny bitches on the internet and blah 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 blah." And I hate him. I will be honest. I hate him. His comment was pasted onto the image to show, oh, look, another dumb bitch complaining. But the thing is that you don't know what that girl has gone through. What if she has just finally gotten out of an abusive relationship where she was beaten and raped? So she feels broken and damaged. But she tries to tell everyone that she's okay because she feels it's all her fault, so she doesn't deserve sympathy. That happens a lot. Not to mention, you don't factor in that maybe she has some mental illness problems. Or maybe she came from an abusive household, so she's kind of fucked up in the head. Yes, those stupid, YOLO swag people who came from a fine house, nothing wrong really growing up. And other kinds that say, oh, I fucking hate my parents. They didn't give me the color of iPhone I wanted for Christmas. I mean, I got it for free when other people have to work their asses off 6 days a week just to afford basic things like food and electricity, but I got the wrong colored iPhone. Those people I hate, I'll admit. But the problem is that you can't assume this shit. And even if they didn't deal with the same problems as someone else who dealt with a far harder hardship, you have to understand that not everyone can handle the same amount of crap. Some people are teacups, and other people are buckets. And what this analogy is trying to say is, say there is someone with a big jug of problems, and so they pour a certain amount of problems into the teacup, and then it overflows. But pour that same amount into the bucket, and it barely does anything. So, but the overflowing is the feeling of being overwhelmed by the problems. You can't handle it. You're beyond capacity. It happens, it can happen to both, but it takes a lot more to make that feeling on the bucket than on the teacup. You can work toward, the more problems you get, the more the teacup can swell and turn into other bigger containers. This analogy, this metaphor is starting to lose. Anyways, but the problem is that you don't know what someone's capacity is. Everyone has a different capacity. And maybe someone has a huge capacity for problems, but they already have so many that what would be a small problem is what causes it to overflow because it's just gotten to be too much at that point. And you don't know that they've already been filled up to the brim with so many other problems, and just throwing that other one on top has just completely made it overflow. Like, but I mean, none of them went through the Holocaust in modern day, unless you talk about, people who survived the Rwandan genocide, or sex slaves, or people who grew up in abusive households, or any of that stuff. But I mean, none of that was the Holocaust, where people were starved and forced to do extreme physical labor. Oh yeah, no one nowadays has ever gone through anything like that. Not any of those child soldiers or The kids who work in sweatshops and stuff. But no, but here we are in Canada or US or Europe or wherever you are that's a developed country. We don't deal with any of that crap. We just deal with the fact that some people don't have enough food for groceries, enough money to buy food for groceries. Some people don't have enough money for groceries, or some people are afraid for their lives because their partner or parent or sibling or whatever loses their temper easily. Maybe they drugs or alcohol involved, so they could get beaten and possibly have their lives in danger. But hey, it's not the Holocaust. See, the problem is that when it's someone that you care about that's hurting you, you internalize the hate. When it's someone who hates you for no good goddamn reason, and your family members support you in hating them back, and they are completely externalized, it's emotionally easier to deal with sometimes. Because they're them and you're you. Or you're we and then we versus them. But if it's someone you love, someone who's important in your life that's hurting you, or if it's you that's hurting you because of a mental illness like anxiety or depression, or anorexia or bulimia or stuff like that, you feel like there's no one that can help you. Fine, your physical needs are met, but the thing is that hardship occurs on different planes. There's hardship of the physical self, which, fine, a lot of people in the modern world, in the developed countries, don't have to worry about. But then there's hardships on the emotional and mental planes, which are harder to define and harder to look at with sympathy because they aren't concrete like an empty stomach or a bruised body. So they tend to get brushed off as get over it. You'll be fine if you just buck up and stop bitching about it. But thing is that there's brain chemistry involved, there's past experiences, there's trauma. I mean, PTSD. I mean, come on. I mean, your get over it. It's in the past. It's very hard because it's the actual it's happening in the present is gone, but the memories are still here. You still can relive it and relive it and relive it. The memories can attack you, but no one else can see it, so they don't think it's real. So, no, I was never in the Holocaust. I just had a mom that was never there, having to take on full responsibility for my siblings as at a young age. And I mean, as in my mom was gone for weeks at a time when I was 14. And so I had to do the groceries. I had to make sure that there was food on the table. I had to make sure that my younger sister's lunch was packed. I had to make sure that her homework was done, that she was bathed, that she was clean, that everyone was happy and healthy. And now my sister's doing quite well. She's 4.5 years younger than me, so she got the care and support of a parent growing up, and now she's on the honor roll, on the rugby team, and dance, choir, all sorts of stuff. And I can barely handle getting up in the morning some mornings because there was no one there for me, and there never has been, or probably not will be, because I'm too fucked up to love or care about. And because of this mentality, I'll continue to have that because I'm not justified to feel sorry for because I'm such a pain to be around. So, never been through a Holocaust, but afraid for my life and safety when my brother would be beating me to unconsciousness or concussion or whatever, pinning me to the ground, nearly dislocating my shoulder from an arm lock and stuff like that. But hey, I had food in my belly, a roof over my head, and clothes on my back. Might have been hand-me-downs, but they were clothes, right? Thing is that human beings need more than that. Human beings need love, affection. They need to know that they're safe. Animals need that. And animals are not at the same mental plane that we are. They don't have the same level of consciousness. We have physical needs, And if those physical needs are met, great. Let's focus on the emotional needs now. Those aren't met? Okay, you might as well be dead. Bye.